this, but we're kind of everything's cool. Oh man, this guy does not want to adjust today. Okay, I'm gonna move you guys. We're doing this live, folks, so let's figure it out. Okay. All right, everyone. Good to see you here. My name's Ryan. Man, it's good to be on here with everyone. I do want to level this off a little bit. I don't want everybody getting a little seasick watching me here. My name's Ryan. I come here in the greenhouse, out in my garden pretty consistently. So yeah, this is just good stuff. Hopefully you like garden things because that's where you're at. It is a rainy day here, if you guys can hear, but we're in the greenhouse and I want to start getting this prepped for colder weather because I'm getting more of my plants are going to be in here. So as we're doing more and more, if you were on yesterday's stream, we're going to give a little update on our seeds, kind of where they're at. We're going to work on getting these sealed up and then start doing some bubble wrap ish. I've got a couple of these I need to change out. If we get a break in the weather, I'll go out and do these. If not, we're gonna bubble wrap and I'll take care of these at another date. And we're gonna kind of show you what these look like for these acrylic. Not acrylic, that's not the word I want to say here. I can't remember what this is. How to change these out because it's pretty straightforward once you get your greenhouse. So it's pretty cool. So let me get up. I've got to get my stream up over here too so I can actually see what y'all are talking about here. Like that's one of those things that we want to make sure that we're staying on top of. Oh, here I am. We're gonna make this quiet. And we got the stream up. Cool. All right. All right, everyone. So we got bubble wrap today. So there's a lot of things you can do with your greenhouse. And in the case of this, let me see where I'm at. Okay, I'm in, just make sure I'm in frame too. So when it comes to your greenhouse, one of the things that you have opportunity to is you want to extend your growing season, which is why we have greenhouses in the first place, right? They allow you to maintain some temperature. You're in an area, safe, but it also, again, sunlight, temperature, humidity, all the things that you want to be able to manage. You can do this inside of here. The issue, though, is that in the areas that have a bit more in the way of extreme temperature extremes, having greenhouses, you can't extend them too far. So, for instance, like here in northern Michigan, we've already had frost a couple times. Most of my garden did okay. What I have left in my garden did okay, but we are going to be getting into the what are going to be hard frosts are going to be here in probably in the next 2 weeks or so. So one of the issues that we're going to run into specifically is that in the greenhouse, if you don't have additional insulation, the temperature drops in here, right? Because it needs the sun coming through to warm things up. And you can do certain things to try to help and maintain your overall temperature gradient to make it, so like for instance, you'll see I have pavers down here. So I have, I pave the bottom of this here. So these get warm and these retain some heat. So welcome everybody. Good to see you all on here. Let me know where you're at here. So, hey Brian, good to see you. Welcome. So yeah, when you hop in the chat, let us know where you're from. It's always great to see where folks are at, especially what you're doing. I'm getting northern Michigan here. But so I have these in here. I put some pavers in. I got these on sale. They were on basically a busted pallet of these. So I was able to pave this thing out. There's other things you can do, and I've talked to people who have tried them all. So for instance, one of the things you'll see is where people will have barrels of water in here to help retain some heat, right? They're black barrels. They're supposed to warm up the water as a way to manage the temperature. I've never really, this isn't large enough for that too. So, and they're going, yeah, Among Us, I love it. And then you can do that. I've never had success with it, so I don't do that. What I do is I actually have insulation on my greenhouse here. So, hey, welcome. Good to see everybody. Basket, welcome. Good to see you. Hey, what's up? Love everybody getting in the chat. Make sure you say hi. We love it that you're here to visit, and but we love it when you come in and chat too. So great. So yes, I can grow weed. I can have as many plants as I want. It's Michigan. We can just go crazy, but prefer to I have other people handle that for me, and I just go buy my stuff down the street. So no worries, not a big deal. So, hey, what's up, Catbird? Welcome everybody. So we've got that. So I insulate mine, and what I do is, so this is my south-facing wall. What we have here. So it is, it basically just has the standard panels, which we're going to look at here. And then they have these plastic ones here or down here. So this lets all that sunlight come in here, warms everything up, which is great. And then I have insulation, as you can see on the far side here. I've got foam insulation here. I've got foam insulation on the roof here as well on the side. And then on my door and that side is where I have some foam insulation. And I also have my air management system. I have a solar panels that solar powered fans that are on that side that help to circulate the air, moving things in and out. So that's a big piece of what we have going on over there. So with that, insulation, not really much, because like these are they have like air gaps in them, right? They're corrugated, so there is air in here, so it does provide a level of insulation. But come here, real quick. It doesn't really do anything insulation wise. It's just a joke. It doesn't really work. Okay, so if you really want to have insulation, you've got to go the extra steps, which would be, you know, really insulating this, i.e., and then having to bring in artificial light, which I do use during the months of January, February, into March, because we just don't have any light up here. Or you can find a way to just try to help it and help also maintain the overall, how do I say here, the space itself as far as for airflow and movement. And the way that I do that is pretty simple. I come in, actually, these vents that I have here, right? These are open pretty much year round, except for, well, I say year round, all summer, to let air in and out, just to manage that. And then, but beyond that, I seal these up. So we got some duct tape. We're just going to seal these off today. And again, I'm going to let the fans do their job to manage things. So currently, as far as for plants for me, what I have growing, that's a good, I mean, I'll just show you guys. I got some lettuce growing here. It's, I don't want to bring them all up here, but I have some lettuce starts right now. I like to grow lettuce in my greenhouse, especially during the cooler months. We're going to get some brassicas started. These are about a month in right now, and so they're in a good spot. I've got some other lettuces going, as well as some onions as well too, some green onions, because they're spring. You know, these are spring plants in cooler weather, so they'll do fine. But so today, what we're going to do is kind of start by sealing this off. You know, it's just kind of the process here. And you'll see I even still have some bubble wrap left over from this. Now, here's the deal, and this is probably the important piece. I got bubble wrap, right? Here's the important piece just to keep in mind here when it comes to bubble wrap. The UV rays are going to absolutely destroy it. It's usually good for a season, maybe two. I normally can get like 2 seasons out of my bubble wrap, but I just don't. Bubble wrap is cheap. You can have it here, and it does work, you know, and it's not very expensive at all. And I just get these from, I get this from Amazon. Okay, like that's kind of the deal. So what I recommend is, you know, if you do want to have a greenhouse, and you guys can probably hear it, but like we got rain coming down right now, right? But if you can and you have space, you know, greenhouses are a great way to extend your season. You know, I do this entire area here. Thank you very much. So this is 6 by 7 by 16. Like that's so 6 by 7 by 16. There's a project in the back of my mind where we're going to expand this. I'm going to basically bring this down and build out a larger one. But right now, it more than serves the purposes I need, which is I will start all my flowers for the year start in here, as well as which include marigolds, your zinnias, cleomes. Gosh, what else do we have going on here? I had some impatiens last year. Oh, what else did we have? Peonies as well. So basically, I'll get my flowers started here, and at the same time, I get all my spring vegetables started in here as well too. And what I do is I give a lot of those flowers out. I'm going to have donation. I have a stand this next year where I'm going to have flowers and early season vegetables starters available for donation for folks to have for my neighborhood, so we can get more calories. People can grow their own calories, which is just big in my area. So I'm going to have indica, sativa, yeah, for sure, or a nice hybrid variety. Yeah, all those things are great options. Great options. I love that. So with that, if you're interested in gardening and what goes on here, don't forget, great opportunity for you to do there. If you haven't already, please do. Subs are free. We love that. So, all right, well, let's get started in here, guys. So where's everybody at? I saw a couple locations there, but where are you guys at? Again, I'm in Northern Michigan. How about y'all? Where are you at? We had some folks, you know, I had some folks from Cutter. The chickens are here. I got my girls are out here watching me again. They always like to come watch what we're going here. So Nashville, all right, Nashville, love that town. Everyone else did for a while there. It looks, hopefully, I mean, and then it looks like you got some folks moving out again. So Nashville, that's good weather. We got North Carolina, love that, good, love it. So, and again, this is real simple stuff here, folks. This is just regular old duct tape, nothing crazy. And all I'm going to be doing here is simply just sealing this up. It's locked into place here. These handles that they have that are on this right here. See how it's got this handle? There's actually a little spot in here that it just slips right under. So this will be locked in. And I've had this thing through, oh, I'm getting Honduras. Nice. We got PA. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I hope you get the rain. We've been in a major drought here in my area for a while as well. So yeah, we're happy for the rain. We'll take it. But anyway, so these will keep things down. And now these have been through multiple winters of, I've had 2 feet of snow on top of this, 80-mile-an-hour winds just blasting this. And this is, I got this greenhouse from Wayfair, of all places, and it's held up great. But the thing is, with these windows in particular, one of the things people are worried about whenever they get this is how will they hold up in the wind and everything. I've never had a single issue. And, you know, knock on acrylic or whatever the stuff is, the polycarbonate, that's the word I wanted to use. Never had an issue. So that's one of the things, if you're worried about your greenhouse and any it being in the wind, I want to say it's a crapshoot, but I've never had any issue. And I might be the only person. I don't know. I'm not sure. So just something to keep in mind. If this, by the way, let me know if this is too loud when I'm doing the tape there. I can move my mic. I'm trying to be as considerate as I can and not make it be too loud, blowing up your speakers. So if that's the case, let me know. You know, don't want to deafen you guys and gals out there, okay? But yeah, so this is a good, like we were talking yesterday on the stream. So yesterday on the stream, we were harvesting seeds. I'll show you some of them we got here. So we were harvesting some zinnias, and I'll pull them out here. Some hollyhock, some echinacea. And then a wildflower mix too. And some of them we had to, and show you marigolds as well too. So we had our marigolds, and some of them we had to throw into the dehydrator, and that was done overnight. You can see this is just from a couple of our marigold plants. Like, look at all those seeds. For those that don't know, just harvest your seeds from your flowers, guys. It is super easy. And I'm going to show you on hollyhock here. Take a little break and just kind of, but we went through yesterday and we did a whole stream on getting seeds from this. So this is hollyhock, right? It's a little baby one. And when the flowers are done, when they're finished, right? They got this little deal, this little pod. You can see how it kind of folds over on itself. Well, inside of here, there's a whole bunch of seeds. And they all just kind of come out in this little roll. You see them there? And then these are the individual seeds. Now here's the secret, the thing here. That's one package that you'll get from the store for your seeds. And each one of those flowers will put off, 5 packets worth of seeds. So you can just see on this one, like this one plant, we pulled some off here already. You've got about 100 seeds, 100 packets of hollyhock seeds just on this one. So learn how to put, it's really easy. Learn how to harvest your seeds from your flowers and from your vegetables. And you don't have to pay for seeds anymore, which is a W. That's what we all want, right? Saving money, growing flowers, growing calories. That's what we want out of life, guys. And it's really easy. It's just, you got to take some time to learn how to do it. So as we're doing that, let me show you this. This is from yesterday. And you guys aren't familiar with this, but this is from my summer squash that I had. All we did was we basically just pulled those out. You'll see us, if you subscribe, you go back and look at my channel, you'll see a short we did yesterday with my zucchini, but this is squash. It's the same principle, where we went and harvested all the seeds. And it's just like cracking open a pumpkin, nothing crazy. And you see, here's all the seeds. Now they've been dried out and they're going to go into the freezer, or in my garage, I should say. So, hey, Flavor Daddy. Good to see you. Welcome. Yeah, no, it's good stuff today. So, hey, I'm here. I mean, end of the day, we're on here to share information, right? And same thing, back with you guys coming this direction. Be sure to. Yeah, we always want to share information. I don't know all the information, but anything I can do to help for sure. But anyway, so that's what we did yesterday. Just simple stream. Made a little over an hour. Just got out and did some stuff here. So, okay. So again, as we're going through here, guys, that's the other spot. Okay, this is something when you get your greenhouse, you need to make sure you understand absorb it, soak it in, and just have it be part of who you are. You are not going to be able to control everything within the greenhouse. It's meant to be loose. Like, it's supposed to have gaps. It's supposed to let air in and out. It's supposed to do all of these different things. Now, if you want to do a professionally hermetically sealed one, you're going to be paying tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? For us, this is plenty fine. So we just seal it up where we can, and we just try to insulate it where we can and just manage it. Okay. So, yeah, it's good stuff here. But again, as I mentioned, I'm here in Michigan, so we are gonna get destroyed with snow this year. Every long range model has said that, but also, frankly, I can just my biggest indicator that I have for whether or not we are going to be miserable with snow in a given year depends on how warm the lake is. So I'm right by Lake Michigan. Is just 10 miles that way, just right over there. I can basically, if I get on my roof, I can pretty much see it. It is extremely warm this year, extremely warm. So that means once we start getting the cold air coming over from Siberia down through Alberta and in Manitoba and Saskatchewan into the Great Lakes, it's going to have all sorts of juice for big old blizzards and snowstorms. That's what's going to be happening until probably March because of how warm it is. So we are just going to get dumped on what would be a normal maybe 4 to 6 inches of snow. We're going to get a foot to foot and a half every time. It's just going to dump on us. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm as prepared as I can ahead of time, right? Plus that cold, like that cold weather. Woo, I mean, we had, we were down negative, basically in the negatives quite a bit. Now that's in freedom units, so that's Fahrenheit. All right. Now I know for our non-American friends, you guys are used to getting into the negatives there. I get that. But, for us, when we say negative, we're, woof, that's cold. That's super cold. Eh. But yeah, so we had a bunch of that. So I'm just trying to get out in front of that as best I can because I'm growing in here. I am growing. It does happen. But with that, don't really worry about this too much. So with that, so you're coming through here and you're going to, when you want to do this and start sealing up your greenhouse, what I want you to just keep in mind that the idea here is simply just to do your best to try to have, some level of control over it, but nothing, it's an effort and futility. It really is. So like I have a heater, a small little heater that I have that kicks on at 40 degrees. That's where we're at. And that it will turn on usually a couple times a night and it'll bring the temperature up, on and off there, just like a regular furnace will do. It's this little heater right here. I got it off of Amazon. This guy right here. Come on. There we go. Actually, I'll give you guys a quick little show and tell with it here. So this is my heater that I use. You can see it's been out here for a minute, right? It's got a couple settings, but it comes with this thermostat. Okay, so this thermostat is important because this is what you want to have on here. So you don't want something that just kicks on low and high. You want to have it where you can regulate the temperature, which this does. So when it gets below 40 degrees, the heater turns on and then maintains our temperature in here, right? That's the idea. Is it going to keep everything at 40? Absolutely not. I'm going to have a big old portion of my, like for instance, I'll have 40 degrees in this general area, and then I'll have some spots that are going to be living below freezing. It's just the way it goes. So I learn where those spots at and just maintain that accordingly. All right. So yeah, get yourself a heater. I have depending on the time of year, like during the hard months of winter, January and February, I've got to power it at the house. But right now and then into March, I actually have a 200-watt solar panel system with battery and an inverter that I actually use to run. So I don't actually use power from the house. So there's that. But I have solar panels on the house too to help cover a lot of that stuff. So as you can tell with the greenhouse, with my solar, I'm a big fan of let's use the energy from the sun where we can. Okay. All right. So this one is done. So I'm gonna move over by you guys now. Hopefully this isn't too much all in y'all's business here. I think I might be to get here. So yeah. So today's a big day on non-greenhouse stuff. I'm a part owner in our coffee shop, the next town over. I had a little spot there where that came through. And it's our 1-year anniversary. So we are 1 year open as of today. So we have a little bit of a celebration going on with that in town, on top of some other stuff. So that's exciting, to be able to have that. our little town deserves to have nice things. It's our moniker, and we have a really nice little coffee shop. So we're excited to. We made it a year. We've done a year on that, and we have plans to obviously continue to be awesome and doing those things. But that's fun. It's a lot of work's gone into it. It's been a lot of work, but we are getting there. Okay. So there's this guy there. No, I don't have that's a good question. So the question is, do I have a self-watering system set up? And I do not have a self-watering system set up. So what I do, it's a little different, the way I monitor it. So I use, I can show you one here. So I keep all of my plants, basically in the 3-part system, which is the tray, the pods, and then the plastic cover that goes over the top. So everything's bottom watered. And so I intentionally don't want to have a set it and forget it type mentality when I'm out here, because I do want to be out here kind of watching to see how the plants are doing, and monitoring that. So I intentionally make sure that I don't do that, because like I said, I do want to be out here. And also, I mean, we're hanging out here. So again, if you subscribe, you'll see me out here, all year long, and have an opportunity to come out here and just kind of see how I manage my greenhouse. And as for reference, my greenhouse is 25 by, or my garden is 25 by 50 feet. Okay. And I pulled 30 to 40 bushels worth of tomatoes and cucumbers, just those two, out of my garden. And they were all everything was started in here. So, I do have the ability to produce quite a bit. So you guys will see that. So, hey, Darren, welcome. Where are you at? Hey, Darren, so where are you at in the world? Again, folks, when you hop in the chat, please let us know. You hop in the chat, let us know where you're from. It's always interesting to see, like, we're up here in northern Michigan. We're waiting for things to get frigid and cold. So with that, folks, as I've been going about my business here in just how long we've been doing this now? A couple minutes, right? Maybe. Oh, you're in Florida. Awesome. Got Florida. Good to see everyone. Susie Q, welcome. As we've been going through, like, just sealing this up, right? The temperature has already gone up 4 degrees. Just in this little bit by sealing these off. Once you start doing this, it gets warm in here in a hurry. So it's pretty cool. It's amazing how well this actually operates, and you can quickly get things here. Once we start putting the bubble wrap up, folks, I'm gonna have the door open because it's gonna get warm in here. That I can tell you. Oh, it sounds like the rain stopped. So that's cool. We love that. I might be able to go out here and replace these before I do anything. And so one of the things I'm going to show you here, the difference here as well. Oh, you used to live there. Oh, I was Culver. I love your burger joints. Culver's. I wish the rest of the country knew about Culver's. Y'all missing out. Of course, they all say the same thing about In-N-Out Burger, and well, In-N-Out Burger for sure. Everyone says that. If you haven't been around In-N-Out, you're missing out. So I get that. So let me show you guys the difference here. So I think I'm going to try to replace these. We'll see. We're going to go out into the garden and see what we can do to replace, because I got a couple of these are bendy, and I want to show you what happens with these. So you got to replace these panels here. You're from Maryland. Awesome. Oh, Maryland. Yeah. Hey, Maryland. Good for you. I love Maryland. I really do. It's one of those sneaky awesome areas. So let's talk about panels and why we changed them out. So I'm going to show you what an actual panel looks like. Fresh panel. I can't peel it per se. Well, I can. So we're going to peel. This is how they come. Just kind of show you guys what this looks like here. I think this is. So this guy here, this is this is how you order them. Polycarbonate panels. They come in the spot here. Actually, I can't put this. Can I do it? I've got it. So I have to trim these. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to put these up today in real time. We'll see. We'll figure it out, guys. Because I got some screws I got to take off. But let's show you what the panels look like. Now they have a UV coating on them, which you've got to keep in mind of where it's at. So I'm going to borrow my. Actually, I'm just going to put a little mark up in this corner. And there's a reason I'm doing this. I want a little mark up in the corner. This lets me know where the UV treated side is, because the UV treated side has to be out for reasons, right? Because UV rays to protect it. because they fall apart. But regardless of the UV treating, they end up getting ate up. So here is your standard polycarbonate. You know, if you guys can see me, I'm kind of there, right? And I'm going to show you side by side what happens over 2 years. Forget just to see the difference there. If you guys can really capture all of the grossness that is, how yellowed and just nasty that is, but also you see how it's all together. Well, this is what happens with it. You can see where one, it's become this really fragile, like destroyed thing, but then also you get this where it starts breaking, water gets in, and see how it's just crushing apart and turning into powder. That's what happens from the UV. So you get water in there, then it freezes, then it starts breaking it apart, and then you end up with this where it folds over in a big gust of wind. Because I had this happen over here, and it blows everything in, and it just basically folds in on itself. It comes in. Okay, so that's no good. We don't like that. Okay, so that's what that looks like. So these need to be replaced out here. I don't know if I'm going to do this on stream today or not, but you can just see why we want this. Now, just imagine like during the winter, the difference in the amount of what we have as far as sunlight getting in through this versus the yellowed nasty thing, right? So that's why we always want to have these on hand. They're not very much. Like I think this 6-pack of them, I think it was like $40. Wasn't that much, and they're good for a couple years, right? They're not good forever. Like with anything, they're going to come apart, and that is what it is. So yeah, how about we go? You guys, how about this, guys? How about we go out and actually replace one of these? I think that might make. I think you guys might want to see how to do that. So yeah, so the panels, they last a couple years. Really, is that? I mean, I have some that are gonna last. You know, probably gonna get me 3 years. I'll have to replace a bunch of, but usually 2 years is where it's at. Yeah, let's go out and let's go replace these guys. Let's do that. And again, the temperature just went up another 2 degrees. So in that short period, we've gone up 6 degrees. So let's show you guys how I do this here. So I'm gonna have to turn the camera around here. Oh, I don't know. It's asked. So, hey, so my YouTube just asked me to ask you guys to. Okay, YouTube, that's a little weird. It wants me to do a goal. You guys don't need to donate. I don't want you guys donating. All right. Anyways, I mean, we're not here to donate, folks. Although, I mean, I'm not going to say no. All right. So you can see here, we're out here now. We'll talk about what that is in a little bit. But here's the greenhouse we were just in. So you can see the difference, though. Like here's new panels I replaced. You guys see that? Just how awful that looks? Yeah, it's no good. So we're going to replace this one right here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this. Like this here. So I can make sure I can stay up with what you guys are doing here. Okay, so this guy here, I think I need to get... I may have to get my screwdriver. Forgot I left this on here like this. Let me go grab that real quick. Be right back, guys. All right, guys, just about there. Forgot all about this thing. Sorry about the delay. Bad streamer Ryan. Did not have my stuff up. So, all right. So anyways, got the goods here. So, all right. So it's a pretty simple system that they have. They just got a couple clips here that'll hold this in. And then I just got to pop this off, which this has been a couple years. So this is probably going to be an adventure to get off. We will see what we can do here. Come on. Come on, buddy. Yeah, it is all gooped up in there. This is pretty gross. Come on. So it clips in pretty hard there. So that's like the... There we go. Got it. Just had to help it off. Ew. Just look at all that grossness in there, folks. That's just some gross stuff. So, by the way, if this is the type of content that you enjoy, watch an old man doing greenhouse stuff, make sure you hit subscribe, hit that like button. And if you know someone that you think would love this type of content, be sure to share with them and let them know. Love to have them on the stream with me. So with this, one thing I had to do here is I actually had to trim my fence down because it's up against my fence. So my fence is actually this tall. So I had to come through here and I brought the chainsaw and out and just... So no, I don't grow that. I don't grow any of that. You can just see, by the way, we'll just show the difference here, what we're replacing with. Old, new. Just side by side for you there. I don't know if it's pretty gross, pretty gross. And like this one here, it's been hit by a windstorm. You can just see it just crunched right apart on us there. So it is definitely time for that one to go. And we're gonna replace this. Now, part of the deal though with these, they come in a standard size, but I have a non-standard greenhouse, go figure. So I actually have to trim this down a little bit to make sure it fits appropriately. And remember when we marked it? Remember we marked it over here? I got up here. So this is actually the side that needs to be facing towards the sun, which is coming out, which is why also the temperature is going up. Okay, let me show you what I'm measuring here, guys. So in here, I've got this in these clips. It goes up to a certain spot for halfway. So I've got it pushed over. As you can see, like there's the edge. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera or not, but I've got to get this cut to where it's that size. So we're just going to cut it back right here. And that's going to let this kind of fit in here nice and loose. Because one of the things you want to make sure you're doing on this is you don't want this in there too tight. Like you don't want this to, it's got to have some room to maneuver a little bit. Because this aluminum is going to expand and contract. You're also just from the, there's going to be chances for water getting in there. So where once that freezes, you want room for it to maneuver around, okay? So that's what we want here. So, okay. So we're just going to cut this back, and it's a real simple process. I'm just going to make sure it's over. We're just going to put a mark right here. And we're just going to run my knife down it. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Does help if you have a sharp knife. We'll see how sharp my knife is today. It's been, I sharpened it earlier this week. So, you know, that's one of the things you just got to keep in track of. By the way, if you guys don't have a knife sharpener, it should be on your holiday wish list. The last thing you want are dull knives. You do not want dull knives. That is how injuries occur. There we go. Okay, so we got this piece off here. Absolutely. Okay, so we're back to my spot here. We are good. And we're off to the races. We're going to pop it in here. And again, I'm going to be building out at some, oh, I don't know if you guys see it. That sun just came out. Oh man, does it ever feel good? Feel great. So yeah, but this has been a great, this is my gateway greenhouse, as I like to call it, because eventually I'm going to get my better version of stuff. So I guess I'm starting on this side first. What do you got going on here, buddy? Why are you being a pain on me? My gateway one. I'll bend that up just a little bit. I will eventually be upgrading into a much, to a better space. But for now, this gets the job done. And you can see, get back up there, buddy. Where you at? All right. So here's them there. and we now have it. I'll come back and secure it later, guys. But so I wanted to replace that one there. I may do this one also, just so it's there. So matter of fact, let's do that. I'm gonna go and grab that other one and we'll replace one more since I'm out here. Sun came out. Why not get it done, right? What's the old farmer adage? Make hay while the sun's shining. Let's do it. Okay, so we'll just go through the same process again here, guys. You guys can kind of watch what it looks like. Again, I appreciate everybody coming out. Man, we got a beautiful fall day here. I mean, it's been raining, but now that the sun's coming out, man, is it ever gorgeous. We've got, you guys can see, we're gonna give you guys a little tour over here. We got that tree, beautiful color coming in. We got the over there. Everything looks great. Gorgeous day. Got the sun coming out. Can't beat it, folks. Good stuff. Hopefully you all have great plans for today. Hopefully. Gonna be exciting for y'all. So one of the things, guys, that I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna start doing for my streams is I'm actually gonna start streaming off of mobile, where we're gonna be. I've got a full system. I do other videos as well too, but I haven't done anything necessarily. A lot of streams like this on the side. So a big part of what would be important for me is make sure I got my subscriptions are up, so that way you guys are getting notified so you can hop on and see, because mobile is the best way for a lot of people to find me. But I'm asking more folks if you can subscribe, so that way when we hop on, you know, you'll get your notifications, you can come and hang out. So, hey, what's going on? Hey, John, welcome. Where are you at, John? Where are you at in the world? Inquiring minds want to know. So we're gonna get this guy off of there. We are in northern Michigan here, just working on this thing. And we got a little greenhouse maintenance to do. I've got a event I have to go to here in about an hour and a half or so. Dewgrouse Texas all by himself too. He grew a lot in the tree. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. The more we can do, the better like that. So let me see if I can help this guy out a little bit. Okay, there we go. Popped it off. Okay, so with your knife, just to make sure here, if you have it on a holster, you always want to make sure you can get to it quickly, but make sure you take your time putting it back. So you want to get to it quick, but take your time reholstering, okay? I've seen more people end up with cool little red dots around their body from speeding that process up. So we take our time here. All right, so let's take a look here at this gross, crunchy. Oh, I mean, look, I can just kind of pull it out. Like, ooh, that's so gross, guys. Oh, there we go. Oh, you guys can hear that. That's just, and again, just for show, we'll leave that one out. For folks that didn't see the last one, we'll show you. You see, oh, you're in Grayland, Michigan. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Okay, so again, guys, we're going to take care of all this plastic on our way out. I'm not just, dumping stuff here. So same thing here that we have. I'll get this guy here. I'm just going to show you the differences here. And I'm going to put my mark because I will forget. Right over here. All right, that lets me know what side is supposed to be up. Okay, just kind of show you the difference here. Got to hustle up. I think I got more rain coming in. Okay, so just see that difference. Gross. Ooh. Ew. Right. This is the one we want. All right, so hopefully I can just get this guy back up in here. No, got to measure this off where I got to cut at, which will be right here. This one. Decisions were made. Oh yeah, there's rain coming. I got to hustle here. Definitely gonna have to sharpen my knife after this. Don't recommend cutting polycarbonate with your knife. But we kind of made a last minute decision to make this, which I'm happy. I'm glad we came out here and did it. It's one less thing to worry about. And we can get onto our bubble wrap here, guys. Try to get as much done as I can before I got to go clean up for our little event that we have. So, okay, what do we got here? Oh, you know, to be honest, this is not a Schrade. This is a cheap, generic little thing I got off of eBay. Yeah, it is from Pakistan. Like that's it. Yeah, but I like these little guys here. I'm always experimenting with the different types of knives. And this, I needed a little guy that I could work with, so that's why I got this one. And it actually holds an edge really well, so I'm pretty happy with it. I don't remember the actual brand. Okay, so we're back up here now. This is going to be, should be nice and tight, which is fine. We want that for us. There we go. There we go. Cool. All right. All right, great. We love that. And here comes the rain, so we got to hustle. Get our mats. We'll just dump. We're going to put this in the greenhouse for now. We're going to come back to there. So hopefully everybody. So does that make sense? You guys kind of see the idea here? You can just, you guys can really clearly see there, like where the new panels. Like it's not like no surprise, right? And so you just want to make sure you're keeping on top of that. It's good for your plants, good for everything, but also it's going to save you from any accidental wind events where things just get blown through and everything. So, all right, so we're going to swap this back out here. Yeah, doesn't it look better? I mean, yeah, it looks so much better. So much, well, yeah, it looks kind of garbagey. You don't realize, that's the thing. It's like with everything in life, because it happens over time. Like you really don't realize like how bad it's gotten. I'm gonna adjust that here in a second. You don't realize how bad it's gotten until like you replace one and you're like, oh my gosh, how did we even, like, why did I let it get that way? That was so bad. Let's do this. All right, I got you guys on the computer here too. Make sure we're in frame. So one of the things I've discovered when I've been doing more streaming and just being on here, I didn't realize I was also I've turned into a lighting guy, a producer, a camera guy. Obviously, it's the phrase on-air talent, but whatever. It's just the number of things I've got to keep in mind so that you guys have a good experience. Because if it was just me, I'm sorry about that extra noise, guys. I'd just be making a mess in here. You know what I mean? So cool. All right, great. So yeah, love it, guys. Let me get some water here real quick. Gotta hydrate. Oh, I gotta grab my drill. I want that thing getting rained on. Whoops. Hey, girls. Hold it. No, you guys hold up. Got my chickens are out here being nosy Parkers on me. Scoots. There you go. Good hustle, girls. Okay. So let's run a little experiment here, guys. I'm just going to close the door now. All right. So we've got this place sealed up, you know, as sealed up as it's going to be. The temperature right now is 64 degrees. Let's see what the temperature is going to be. You guys can see 64. You guys got that? So what we're going to do is we're going to see. Oh yeah, that new. Yeah, I'm gonna hydrate. No, I'm gonna hydrate. I saw my drill out there. Trust me, I'm getting it. Thank you for that. So what we're gonna be doing here is it's 64 degrees. We're gonna just start running our bubble wrap here. And by the time I have to go, we'll just see what the difference in the temperature is, right? The sun isn't really gonna be out, but you're gonna, I have a good feeling even with what we have, we should be seeing this thing. My guess is probably we're gonna land somewhere around 72 by the time I'm done. We'll see. The last time I did it, last year when I had to get the bubble wrap up and everything, it was almost 84 in here. I'd open the door up because we had sun going. So what temp do I try to maintain? So I try to maintain, I don't try to let it get over 95 in here during any point when I have plants in here. I try to keep it at 95. And so what I have is, again, we'll go back to this system. Give you guys a show here real quick. So on my system here, it's got this little temperature gauge here. You know, I got it set at 64, but this thing kicks on at 90. And I have the fans turned multiple ways here. So I've got this one is blowing air this direction, and this one is blowing air out. So I'm bringing in cooler air, and then having the hot air blow out is a way on both spots. Next year, I'm going to drop another one right here, so I'll have 2 fans going on either side. So, like, that's kind of the idea. So 95 is where I want to live at. You can also monitor the humidity if you want. There's a lot of folks who it depends on what you have. You can monitor your humidity. I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. I'm in zone 7B, I think the new one is. So we're subtropical in northern Michigan, right? It's wild. But we have a lot of heat and when the heat's here, it's hot, but we always have humidity. It's always something we have. We don't worry about, okay? So what we're going to do here is pretty straightforward. I'm just going to start by running the bubble wrap here across the top. So we're going to kind of move you guys out of the way a little bit. You can see this, but it's a real simple process. I'm just getting taped up here. Matter of fact, to make sure it's easier, let me get my corn down out of here as well. All right, so I've got the corn. And again, this is some of the sweet corn that I grew this year. I always save one or two of them and then let them just air dry them naturally, just like this. I recommend this is the way you should do this, because if you pull the kernels off too soon, you're going to damage, I'll just grab one, you're going to damage this area. You see where all the the extra white part is? You actually damage that and it's going to have a hard time germinating. Okay, so we don't want to do that. So, hey, you're in Michigan. Awesome. Let's go Michigan. Heck yeah. I mean, the state. I don't really do the whole college thing, but yeah. Heck yeah. Do you get, by the way, just so you guys can see this, we have another audience here as well too. Hey girls, what are you guys doing? We got our chickens living their best lives around here. So again, you'll see, notice that I have leaves out here. I put leaves in my garden on top of compost as well. So different parts of it, every year it kind of changes as a way to make sure my cover crop is good, or make sure my soil is covered. Few things that, rules here on the channel. So again, if you haven't subscribed, obviously please do. Appreciate that. Make sure you hit thumbs up and like on the channel. A couple rules. One, we don't worry about stuff. Worrying is never what we're here to do. We're here to relax and just enjoy ourselves. It's therapy out here, right? And sometimes plants just die. That happens, okay? We don't worry about that, so no worrying. The second thing is we always make sure the ground is covered. It either has plants in it or it always has something on top of it to protect the soil. We here, again, the channel, one of the things that we have here is our focus on making sure that our soil is healthy. That's a big part of what we do year round, is making sure our soil is healthy. And then the plants, they know what to do. They take care of themselves. And so in here, we're making sure the environment is as healthy as we can, so the plants can do what they naturally want to do, which is grow. Okay, so with that, that's why I got leaves out here. I also have a ton of compost in another section. So it's just one of the things we do. All right, so with that, let's keep that mindset and we'll be good. Bubble wrap time. So this is just standard old packing bubble wrap, guys. I did get some UV treated stuff. I've gotten the pool stuff before too, which has a UV treatment on it. It's just not worth the extra cost. I mean, to be honest, it's up here for a couple months, and I hate to have stuff basically be trashed like that. But the alternative is I can't grow stuff, so we work around it. But this stuff is cheap. It also is dual, multiple purpose. So like I'm gonna have this. This probably isn't going to be enough to do. I should be able to get most of this done, but I also use it for wrapping presents for the holiday season. So it's dual use when I buy it. No big deal there. Okay, so let's see, where did I put my duct tape? There it is. And the process is real simple. We are just going to. I'm going to take this guy here, just kind of stick it over here, and you just roll it out, guys. Listen, I have a full video. If you go look on the channel, I have a full video about how I went through and insulated this with the foam insulation on the outside, the entire process, along with trying to think here, with the bubble wrap too. So I've got a full video. You can go check it out. It's on the channel if you're really curious about what it looks like, the whole deal. But it's pretty straightforward. And then the other thing that's great about this bubble wrap, when you buy it like this, buy the stuff that's perforated, so you can just rip it off. You're not trying to, figure this stuff out. Okay. Now, there are a couple different ways you can do this, okay? So remember, we've got heat rising. So we want to try to make sure that we don't have any gaps to where the heat is going to slip behind this, okay? So you'll see people that will spend time, okay, so we got this here, and I need to make sure the next one is here, or do I want to have it here and an overlap? Okay, I've done it both ways multiple years. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it, okay? Don't worry about it. If you start at the bottom and work your way up, or start at the top and work your way down, the effect is the same. It's negligible, so don't worry about it. Whatever's easier for you. So we're gonna start at the top though. Oh, hey, what's happening, Bill Ray? Welcome, welcome. So just start wherever you want if you want to do it, okay? Don't worry about it. Because what's gonna happen for me is I'm gonna get this section here, and then I'm gonna bubble wrap down here as well. However, you guys can't see, but on this side, I guess I can show you. I have, if you guys can see this, and behind my mess here, I've got extra foam. So what ends up happening is I have extra foam board that I actually bring down and put across here in the months of January and February. I actually move my insulation over here, and I just have this section up here is the only spot where I have light coming in. And that's because I need to get as much insulation and protect here as possible. And the bubble wrap just doesn't get it done, but I need an area that's still got light coming in for everything. So, all right. Again, this works for me. You may have something else you want to do, by all means. You do what works for you. You do whatever, to use Marie Condon, whatever sparks joy for you, that's what we want. That is what we want out of life. Okay, now the other thing with the other reason I'm using duct tape here, right? Duct tape is because duct tape is cheap. Like that's really the main reason here. I can just, and it's cheap. I can just put it up somewhere and just kind of be done with it. And I'm going to have to be up here all winter doing maintenance on it anyways. So we are just going to use duct tape. So if something happens where I've got to make adjustments to it, guess what? It's duct tape. Not a big deal. All right. This guy, it's in there. And we're just going to do the bottom real quick, because I just want this one to be kind of secured here on this side. And again, this is year 3 of doing this, so you know I still don't necessarily have what I would consider to be an amazing product on or process down, but you know what it does? It works for me. Okay, so then we're gonna do some larger gaps here to kind of cover. So we are already at 66, guys. In 5 minutes, we got 2 degrees temperature just by having the door closed. Isn't that wild? Just how quickly that happens. We don't really have the sun out. So this is the entire process. We just kind of go along here, and I'm just gonna throw up some duct tape and just little spots, and then we will, after everything's up, we come through and do a better job sealing. But at the end of it, this is just for incision. Man, I'm gonna have to have my flannel off at some point here. Be white t-shirt guy. I'm gonna look like, was that Bruce Springsteen back in the day in whatever video he had, Born in the USA? Showing my age there. By age, I'm 47. I just turned 47 this week. I had my birthday. Good birthday. It's always, I'm a little bit different. I like getting older. I'm actually pretty cool with it. I am not someone who had I didn't really care for being like young or anything like that. I like being a bit older. It's kind of my thing. So, all right. Just go 2 at a time. Just keep on walking down here. And I have to move the camera here in a second to make sure that we've got coverage. And these spots where I have you guys can see here, I'm going to switch over. All right, just move the camera around. So the spots where I have, yeah, it looks pretty good. So these areas where I have the windows are at, I'll come back through and make sure that these are actually, the bubble wrap is sealed tight around here as well too. I'll actually make that full connection piece there. It'll be pretty good. But yeah, so now I've had a few people ask, they're like, Ryan, why in God's name do you do videos of this type of stuff? This is just, Ryan, what are you doing? Like this is boring. Where we're at. And same thing like when I'm doing compost, people are like, you literally do an hour and a half stream while you're doing compost. And the answer is like yes. For me personally, I feel it's really important that folks know, especially people who are new to gardening or maybe not around, understand and like for homesteading. And I don't want to say I have a homestead. I have chickens and all this good stuff, but you know, as far as maintaining a property, doing this, I think it's important for folks to get it like in real time and just see, hey, this is what it takes to do this before you decide to jump in and spend some money. Right? Y'all work really hard for your cash. So I want to make sure that you guys in your time to make sure you see like this is what it looks like. This is what it's like to actually do these things and the effort it takes. Again, this isn't like a huge effort, but there is effort involved. So I'm gonna have to order some more. Like this guy's getting ready to go, which is fine. We will replace that there. Where's a perforation? That can move right there. Cool. All right, and then these smaller pieces, I actually keep these around. I'll stash these for repairs as stuff is coming up. Okay. Hey, what's happening, Shawnee? How are you? All right, so we're at 60. Oh, the sun just went down, so the thermometer is kind of a thing. But we're at 68. So, terracotta pots with charcoal, heat, fire, something. Oh yeah, great. That's awesome, Brandon. Love that. Love that. Love that. Okay. So let's go this direction. We will just keep on. We're gonna keep on keeping on here, folks, as we're grinding. Yep. So I got that next round of rain coming. I can hear it. It wants to do its thing. Okay. So we got this guy here. We're just gonna roll out our next one. Now, for those of you who would be doing this and not have content and be filming, best known thing is get your first one measured and then do 12 of them. Just do a whole bunch of them at once, so you're not just rolling back and forth here. But again, I want to make sure that it's part of the process here because not everybody is seeing what's happening. So I want to make sure everyone kind of sees what's up or what's going down here. Kind of the process. But it really is that simple. We're just gonna roll stuff out and tape it up. So. All right, make sure I'm back in there. Here, okay, I'm here, good. All right, so we're gonna take this off for a second. Put you here. Get this started. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I have an event coming up here in a little bit. I have to go to. Super excited. We have a park at our next town over where my coffee shop is, where they have a brand new statue that is done. They have a statue trail in Michigan. It's a way to get people to come around and just see the different things. It's a way to highlight where we're at. We're in a smaller town, and they've been working on this thing for quite some time. And it's great to see it up. I know the artist. He's a really, really good dude. He's actually a director in Hollywood too, but he lives here in our area. He flies out to Hollywood all the time, and so he's done that. So he's been working on that pretty tirelessly, and it's so great to see like his work finally coming to fruition, to be able to have that. So what I would say is, folks, if you're in a, depending on the area where you are, you want to make sure that, if you can, go out and support those things in your local community when you have the opportunity. It's super important. It's not necessarily for us. It's going to be for the next generations of folks. So I'm super happy about the opportunity to just be able to go out and support, because folks are going to be able to look at this and understand some of the heritage of what we had in our area. So it's super cool. Okay, so with this, as we're going along here, and you can just tell that, I don't know if you guys can tell with the light changes or not, but man, that storm is getting here. Be about a thing. So so with that, great questions. So a couple things. We don't have the moisture doesn't necessarily do anything with the sticky tape. It's fine. I actually have to do I normally have to do maintenance throughout the year, like during the winter, just to kind of make sure these things are staying up. And it's more the cold, a mixture of the cold and the UV rays affecting the tape more than anything, because again, this has only got to be up for about 6 months. It's not a long period, so it does pretty well. So yeah, it does definitely degrade, but not that much. So, but yeah, so we got a local artist. They've built it's almost $70,000 for the statue to be commissioned. It's pretty cool. We have a clown band of all things in the next town over that has been all over the world and all over the state. It's one of those things. So if you go to, and it's on Scottville is the name of the town, and it's called the Scottville Clown Band. It's a pretty popular thing. They go to all sorts of events, fundraising, etc. It's just it's a good time. But it's always been a thing I grew up with, and now they've got it kind of memorialized along with the farming community, which is why I'm bringing it up, is they're making sure to have that be part of the conversation as well. So it's got this clown riding a tractor, doing a wheelie on the tractor with all sorts of instruments and everything. It's a pretty cool thing. So we can dig it. All right. So we're going to flip this around here. Get this back over here. And you guys just see the process. It's really straightforward here. And with this though, again, to tell you what I grow in here, I get all of my flowers, all my vegetables are started in here with this entire setup. And this eventually comes down, the bubble wrap usually comes down in April as the sun starts getting, obviously I'm getting more sun and it's higher and higher, and I'm not as worried about as much in the way of frost coming through because it'll be maintaining the temperature. So that's kind of the deal here, folks. All right. Hopefully you all have got some good plans for this for today as well too. Get out, go see your community. So our local, what's really great, it actually goes support your local farmers market. So one of my clients is actually a local farmers market that they have. And they have this cool, like he bought, and I'm not, this is not exaggeration. This isn't hyperbole. He bought 6,000 pumpkins. And that's not like an overstatement. He bought 6,000 pumpkins this year. And it is pumpkin fest on the entire thing. It's so cool to see. It's getting people to you just see this mountain of pumpkins and this whole area is just covered. It's so cool. It's so cool to see. And I'm so happy for him and like the setup here. So let me adjust this down a little bit. There we go. Get down here, you. Don't be weird. So that's the other reason why I use the sticky tape too. You see how I just had to make an adjustment there? It just pops right off and pops back on. So that's the other spot too. But yeah, it's good times, folks. So as always, if you're new, just hopping into the chat here, into the stream, please say hi, introduce yourself to everybody. Let us know where you're from. I'm in Northern Michigan. Just a dude. I'm a business coach, but like I said, I come out here and work in my garden pretty consistently. So, and stream live when I can, just like this. So yeah, let us know where you're from, and how was your growing season? I think that's probably the best question. How did stuff grow for you this year? This was by far and away one of my best years. I understand the volume that I had was just ridiculous, and the quality was exceptional, which is great. Like I say, because previous years has just been a sad trombone noise of just not well at all. So, but yeah, it's been good. I'm saying it's definitely been good here this year so far. Okay, so we got our second row down. So you can see here, it's not crazy, right? Where you're at here. That's not, you can get so you can buy the bigger bubbles, like, the bubble wrap that's got the big bubbles on it. You can do that. That's fine. I just like these little guys, like I said, because I use them for packaging for the house too, for presents. And this works great because it's the thing to keep in mind here. It's not just that you have the bubbles, right? Where's that? Here's some. So it's not just that you have these bubbles here, right? Right, that we're popping here. It's also the fact that you have this plastic material, which is going to, in between the bubbles, there's more air that's going to be stopped, which is another layer of protection to keep from air moving back and forth. Okay, so that's like the other thing. You have almost like a vapor seal. Yes, it is absolutely. It's short. I'm going to say, well, it depends what you're growing. So I had this last year. Yeah, let me check the time here. Okay. Was it 10:20? Okay. Last year I had What did I have in the ground here? Starting in March, like mid-March, I had, obviously I've already started planting my peas. I had radishes, beets, carrots, turnips. They were in the ground already in March. And then I had over on this side, this section of my garden, I had a whole bunch of lettuce and brassicas, along, spinach and your Brussels sprouts, your kale, cauliflower, broccoli. They were all in March. And the reason, but they were already started in here and I moved them out. So they were already past like the concern that I was about any sort of real damage happening from frost, because they can do okay. And anytime that there was like a like a hard frost, I didn't mind if it got down to 30 or even 29. They did just fine in that weather. If we had a couple days where it was going to get down to 26 and 24, I was out there covering them up with leaves just so that they weren't out in the cool air. And then before I went to start work or everything, I just came out and uncovered them. So I was able to start them in February so they'd be ready in March. And then they had their full season out there before summer even got going, which then I moved into my summertime crops. So that's the idea with a greenhouse, folks, is you want to extend your growing season. That's the whole reason it exists. And that's the idea here. So we got this bubble wrap. So, all right, well, listen, I have to actually stop here. I got to go get cleaned up because I got that event in here in a little bit. So you can see, though, that's the process. We kind of got started with some bubble wrap here, and then I'm just going to work my way down the side here over the next, probably this afternoon when I come back, or tomorrow, to be able to do this spot. So with that, if you liked what you had going on here today, be sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like, share with anybody you think you might enjoy this content. And when you can, just make sure you're growing stuff. It's super important. It's great for everyone. So with that, take care, folks. I'll see you next time.